Hi Robert, tell me, when did you start the adventure with Jiu-Jitsu? Where did you train? Who was your trainer?
I started back in '98 in Brazil. I started in a small school in Itu, São Paulo, called Quatro Tempos. I trained there for about 8-9 months, and then I moved to Vegas. That was in '99. Trained with John Lewis and Steve Da Silva at JSEC for 2 years. Moved back to Brazil end of 2000. I trained with Maromba team with Paulo Strecker for about 2 years. Got my brown belt under him. Then I started training with Braza, which was Terere, Damian Maia, Leo Vieira. Terere was my teacher at first, and then when the whole team split and Terere went his own direction, I started training with Leo and got my black belt under Leo.
Okay, so can you tell your fans in Poland, how's your life look like in Brazil? Because a lot of fighters, they come from like ghetto places, and you know they go through it. And can you tell a few things about it?
I was pretty privileged in Brazil. I saw all that. I was in in the city, like it wasn't a wealthy area, but overall I grew up like a middle class life in Brazil. It wasn't hard for me. I mean, I've seen everything. I saw a lot of poverty everywhere, and people struggling just to make it. But just seeing that definitely taught me a lot. There's a big difference, like between the life here and the life in the States and the life in Brazil. But I never, I don't know what that is. I was very privileged, to be honest.
Do you remember your hardest fight in your whole career? Can you tell me more about it?
I remember a lot of fights.
What's the toughest one? You thought of?
You know what? Like I think that some of my biggest battles I had were the ones I was a purple belt. When I was a purple belt, I competed like every weekend. I competed a lot, and I can remember like certain fights that, guys that probably even train anymore. But I remember I had like my rivals, and I have like 4 or 5 guys that I competed with like every weekend. So and we had wars, and we go on. It was always like an advantage or 2 points. It was always very close, like never a submission, and it was just. Some of these guys I fought like 9 times, because like every weekend you go to competition, the guy's there, so you have to fight in weight class and open. And so I remember having like some wars when I was a purple belt. I remember some, let me see if I can remember some names here. Fernando de Piero, Soluço, fought him like 9 times. Augusto Ferrari, I fought him like 4 or 5 times.
Did you win all of it?
I lost once to Soluço. I beat him like 8 or 9 times. I'm not sure. One time he beat me. I beat Augusto every time, but it was like every time was like one advantage. It was like 2 points maybe. It was like a war, like the last second. I remember one time I fought Braulio brown belt. That was a war. Like he was beating me the whole fight, and I passed his guard like 5 seconds left. I passed his guard. Who else? Yeah, those are my favorite memories, to be honest. Like the old days, yeah, always better.
Have we ever seen Robert Drysdale in MMA competition?
I have one fight about a year ago. I plan on fighting more. I got some health issues I got to take care of before I can get back in the ring or back in the cage. It's just some things I got to clear before I can fight. The commission won't let me fight right now. So I want to get this Abu Dhabi fight out of the way, and then I want to take care of my medical condition, and then, after that I want to be back fighting.
A lot of fans would like to know, how does your day look like with the training since you wake up and go to bed?
I wake up late, because I go to bed late. I wake up like 9 o'clock, 9:30, whenever I want to.
How long do you sleep? 8-9 hours?
8-9 hours. Well, 8, it depends. Like sometimes if I sleep like for 7 or 8 hours for whatever reason, I have to wake up earlier. I'll take a nap after lunch. I try to. If I can take a nap after lunch every day, I can sleep less during the night, and I feel better that way. But I try to get like at least 8 hours sleep every night. I like to sleep. I think that, a lot of people have this mentality, oh, you're sleeping, you're lazy. You're like, hey, I'm an athlete. I have to sleep. It's part of my job is resting, and a lot of people don't understand that. I tell people I wake up like 9 or 10 in the morning. They're like, oh, you're a bum. No, I'm not. I train hard every day, twice a day. My body needs to recover, and sleeping is the best way of recovering. So I wake up around 9:30 maybe every day, eat breakfast, while I watch some TV or listen to some music. If I have class that morning, I'll just, come teach class, train, If I don't, I can run some errands or, you know, do whatever I have to do. You know, maybe, you know, if I have time, I'll sit down and read a book, listen to music, play some video games, whatever. Go to lunch, normally go out with one of my buddies, you know, for lunch. I rarely cook. I'm not a good cook. I normally, if there's someone to, you know, help me cook at home, like I have a friend over, we'll cook some pasta or something, but normally I go out for lunch, you know, some sushi, Thai restaurant, whatever. I'm back home, take a nap if I feel like it, run some errands. There's always something for me to do. Go to the post office, go to the bank, talk to this guy, you know, go over here. There's always something for me to do. If there's nothing for me to do, I might go to the pool and relax a little, you know, tan maybe, jump in the water. Back to training, eat. Right about now, it's like maybe if it's like 6 o'clock, I got to teach again. Sometimes I have privates in the afternoon. If I don't have a private, like I said, I can just chill, you know, do whatever. If I have to teach a class, I'll teach a class. Sometimes I'll train at night, you know. And then when the day's done, if I feel like I can go to LVC and work out a little bit, I can run on the treadmill, lift some weights maybe. If I'm not in the mood for it, I'll just go home and crash. You know, it's pretty easy day going. I'm busy, but it's not like the hardest day. But I like to make sure I like to make sure I teach at least once a day, and I get at least 2 training sessions in a day. I train at least twice a day, and that's pretty much it, man. There's nothing special in my day. It's just every day is pretty much the same thing, but I kind of like it, you know, like. Every now and then I'll go on I'll go travel or something. It's sort of like a vacation almost, but to be honest, I like staying at home, and I like my routine, you know, waking up, training, eating, sleeping, back to the gym. That's what I like to do. That's my vacation.
Okay, you haven't mentioned anything about the girls. I hear a few girls talking to me. Are you single? You have somebody? Goals?
I'm single.
You're single?
I recently been through a divorce.
Real?
Yeah.
Okay. So are you looking for partnership in the future, or how's
Yeah, in the future, absolutely. You know,
are you focusing 100% to?
No, I think that's one of those things. You just let it happen. You're not looking for it. You're not running away from. When it happens, it happens. But it's not something I'm desperately in need for, or I don't want it. You know, I'm just going with the flow, and when it happens, it happens. But eventually, yeah, you know. I'm planning on getting married and having kids one day, of course, you know, just like everyone else. But
how old are you?
27.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry, and I'm not running away from it either.
Okay. What's your favorite submission?
It's always a difficult question to answer, just because I'm not sure. Like it's just not like a specific move I always go for. I have like certain positions that I like better than others. That I'll be